That was 2 minutes.
There's
When
more than 2
somebody
minutes.
says give you a minute, that means 60 seconds.
Does.
Yeah.
That's the very
It
definition.
doesn't mean 120 seconds. 1 minute.
1 minute.
In fact, I think I took less than a minute.
Maybe. But you didn't tell me you were done.
Do I got to tell you everything I do?
Steve, when it comes to being prepared to do the show,
I've already told you everything I've done.
I should know what the fuck's going on, right?
Maybe.
Well, I think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think we're sure of anything.
Well, that's true. But you never know.
Never.
So, I guess I screwed up, Steve.
You screwed up.
Yes.
No.
Well, see, I was under the assumption that tonight's show was about Dracula.
Well, as was I.
Because I messaged our producer.
Yes.
And he told me we're doing true stuff behind Dracula.
Right. I recall talking about that last week after the show.
Yes. So I announced the show that way.
Right. I saw that.
Titled the show that way. Mm-hmm. And then he informs me it's not going to be that much about Dracula.
What?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I get. But
there is some Dracula in it?
I guess.
Yeah, there's a little Dracula. We're not going full Dracula though.
Just a little Dracula.
We've let our viewers down, our listeners down.
I guess so. I mean,
because we promised them Dracula and nothing but Dracula.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some Dracula. Calm your tits.
It's supposed to be all Dracula.
Yeah.
I wanted to suck your blood. You know that stuff.
Did you have to?
Yes.
You fucking jackass.
It's pretty good, to be fair.
I even used the want instead of want.
Yeah. Good for you.
Transylvanian accent.
That's it. That's what I was looking for.
That's what you went for?
Yeah, so I think I did a bang up job at it too.
You're the best, Steve.
I am. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Jesus, YouTube's acting up tonight.
What's it doing?
Well, it just wouldn't let me click on it.
Stupid YouTube.
That stupid fucking YouTube. What am I going to do with it?
Continue to use it because there's no other platform that works as good as YouTube.
Pretty much at this point.
They wouldn't let us on Twitch.
Oh, sure they would.
No, I don't think they would.
Nobody would watch it.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, Twitch has higher standards than YouTube.
But like how so?
Well, you know we swear a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes us bad.
Fuck Twitch.
Because we're potty mouths?
Yeah. Did you hear Scotch's Lounge YouTube channel got shut down?
I mean,
Did it?
Yeah.
What happened?
Apparently, Jeff got 3 strikes and they shut his channel down.
Oh.
Huh. What were these strikes involving? I mean, what did he do, allegedly?
Copyright, probably.
Oh, so probably somebody who he was using their story or their photos, filed claims. Yeah. Huh.
Yep.
Or he was probably playing something on the air.
Probably.
That he probably didn't have the rights to play. I'm just speculating. I'm not accusing, but that can happen.
Oh, it's happened to all of us. I mean, it's happened to me. I've gotten strikes for that shit, even though it's fair use. And
right. I used I think on one of my parody things, I used a karaoke version of something that wasn't even exactly like the version, and I still got nailed for it.
Yep, you can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have to be very careful. And there's all kinds of that's why you will almost never hear us play anything on this show.
Yeah, YouTube don't play, yo.
Well, because you can have your video ripped down.
Oh yeah,
playing audio of someone else's.
Yep, you can only use a certain I mean, you can go. What was that website we used to use? It was Inotech or something. It was all royalty-free stuff.
Oh, royalty-free music and stuff. Yeah. And YouTube has their own section for that stuff now.
Yep. Used to be back in the day, YouTube had music that you could use, but a lot of that was copyrighted, and you could get a flag for using the music you got straight from YouTube. But now YouTube has copyright-free or royalty-free section that you can use. So I just don't put music in anything anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like I did with I used all royalty-free music on the the intros to the show back in the day, and the Fortean Slip bedtime stories. That was all royalty-free music. And I haven't had a problem, knock on wood. But YouTube's been changing everything so much.
Oh God, I had a video up for it must have been 3 years now. It was that dogs having sex video, and the one passed out. That dog
yeah.
I just got a copyright strike on that, and I'm not even monetized anymore. They took my monetization away a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for the entire channel. But I got. Right. I mean, this video has been up for 3 years at least. And
it gets ridiculous. It really does. And it's kind of the point now where they're trying to regulate everything, and it gets so taxing.
So the only thing you can really do on YouTube anymore is sit there in the quiet and not say anything, and you'll be fine.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But even then, you get done for not producing decent quality content.
Yeah. You just won't go anywhere in the search rate, the algorithm.
Yeah.
Fuck the algorithm.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, you ready to be wowed, Steve?
I'd probably have to go to a different YouTube channel for that, but
you might.
You can try.
Yes, I agree. But are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want you to.
It's like when you're on Hoarders. When you're on Hoarders, and they're asking, "Are you ready to go inside this house that you haven't walked into in 25 years and see what it looks like today?" Yeah, no, not quite ready, but as ready as I'll ever be.
But you're gonna go with it.
I'm gonna try.
All right. This is the Fortean Slip, episode 53, The Legend of Dracula. Maybe, kind of, sort of,
somewhat.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just not going to be that much about that, Steve, and we've been duped.
All right, well, we're going to find out. What do you got, Richard?
I think we are.
Yeah.
Well, it was going to be about the legend of Dracula. However, it turned out that all that Vlad the Impaler stuff isn't really connected to Dracula at all.
Why not? I'm upset now.
Bram Stoker made up Dracula for his novel in 1897.
Well, obviously he fucking made it up.
Yeah, duh.
It's a story about vampires, dude.
Yes, but vampires actually exist.
Oh, jeez. We're not fucking doing this again. You don't believe that shit.
Don't I? Don't I?
Richard, you come from a mystical land, but you don't believe that shit.
Are you sure? I might believe in vampires.
I'm fucking positive.
Well, let's let him talk a little and see.
No, like before we get into tonight's topic, there's more pressing matters to contend with, Steve.
Uh-oh.
We have to take a moment.
Okay.
Richard has had some
sex.
That has something to do with it, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, no.
I think that might have something to do with it. But has had some interesting occurrences.
Ghost sex?
I don't know. I haven't asked yet. I wanted it to be organic and on the show. But I think he has an update on a story that he told us, but that the listeners are not aware of.
Oh, vampire sex.
Yeah, vampire sex.
Yeah, that's
go ahead, Richard.
So
hear this update.
Yes. So
are you ready to come clean to the listeners now?
You have to now, Richard. You have to tell the backstory.
Yeah, no, I'm going to tell all of it.
Okay.
All right.
Give me a
We
second.
won't even interrupt you this time.
Okay.
And by the way, I just want to put this out to the listeners. You're getting a treat right now.
Oh yeah.
Because Richard does not like to talk about his own stuff.
Never.
So take it away, Richard.
Right, yeah. Like, as a paranoid schizophrenic, it makes me deeply uncomfortable to talk about my personal life live on the internet, even to such a small amount of people. But this story is just simply too bizarre not to share. It is right up the Fortean slip alley, and I couldn't let this happen without talking about it. So the backstory is simple. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got laid. Now that in of itself...
That's pretty amazing right there.
That in of itself is, well, news enough to make it to the Fortean slip, but the story gets...
High five, man.
Hey, man, you got laid. That's good stuff.
But the story takes a dark turn.
Wait. Was the sex good?
Well, it was as
mediocre.
Good as, well, yeah, it was
average?
Above average.
Above average. So she wasn't that crazy.
I mean, she didn't just lie there like a dead fish, but she
right. I got you.
That great.
Yeah. Okay. Above average. We like. Okay.
Okay. Continue.
So afterwards, I was all, so you want to get something to eat now? And she was all, no, I have to get back to my husband.
Which is what a woman normally says when you get done having sex with her.
Which is
you ask her if she wants dinner.
Which is something they, should mention before, in my honest opinion, if I'm being complete.
Yeah.
But, so I was like, oh, all right, then chalk that one up to bad luck. I felt a little bad, but not too bad, because I didn't know, so I didn't feel like I'd done anything wrong. Anywho, 3 weeks later, I think, well, I'm off the hook now. I'm barely even thinking about it. But because of my mental problems, it's still in the back of my mind. It still makes me a little bit worried. But it's like fading. I get like a horrible abusive text message from her husband because for reasons best known to herself, she's decided to tell him.
Which is what you do.
Which is obviously what you do.
It was the overwhelming guilt, I'm guessing.
Well,
crazy schizophrenic dude. I got to tell you about this, man.
Well, not exactly. You see, as I said, this sort of thing really freaks me out. I panicked like a bitch, and I talked to the only man I know who has so much experience with women.
Oh, God. Don't say Chris York. Please don't say Chris York.
That could help me through it. I turned to Chris York.
Oh, God. Why would you go that route?
Because, he's got a track record of getting out of difficult situations involving women.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I don't know.
If it was an
I don't know if I've gotten out of them all that well.
Well, yeah, you're still here, ain't you? So another gold medal.
Still alive.
Despite the hopes of many. So he said to me, hey, just don't sweat it. You haven't done anything wrong. Call the man up and just explain it to him.
He told you to call the guy.
Yeah, he told me to call
he fucking text messaged him. I'm like, dude, if I were you, I'd call him back and fucking lay into him.
All right.
You're not the one at fault here. You didn't do anything wrong.
No? Okay.
So
how'd that work out for you?
Well, I'm getting there. Right. So I call the dude and he doesn't answer that night. And I tell Chris, he's not answering. I'll keep trying him. And Chris was like, no, keep trying until we get a hold of him, this fuckwad. He's the one in the wrong here, not you. So I didn't get a hold of him. This was Friday night. And I didn't get a hold of him until late Saturday.
You kept trying.
I kept trying. He rang me up drunk at 2 a.m. Saturday morning, as I predicted, to lead another abusive message on my voicemail. So I was like, no, I'm not having this hanging over my neck. I'm gonna fucking sort this out.
All right.
So I finally get a hold of him, and I'm like, dude, listen, I'm really sorry and everything, but I genuinely didn't know she was married. And I stopped seeing her as soon as I did know. Well, he took that about as well as you could expect. There was a lot of recriminations. yeah, a lot of abuse, a lot more threats. I was going to have my head shoved up my arse, and you know, just as I was about to hang up and call my mate to sort this out, you know, put a posse together or whatever, he breaks down, and I shit you not, this is where the story gets a little bit bizarre. He starts crying.
Well, I mean, let's face facts, dude. I mean, I don't know how much this motherfucker's gone through this, but he just found out his wife cheated on him.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I get that.
But, you know, you don't really cry to
the guy.
Yeah, that she's screwing behind your back. Okay, but
Fair enough.
the story gets worse. Okay, I'm not at the bizarre part yet. So he's crying. Now, I don't know if it's sexist or whatever, but if a woman cries to me, I know exactly what to do. But if a guy cries at me, I literally have no idea what to do.
What the fuck, dude? That's what I would say.
I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, I'm really sorry this happened. And then he goes, and I'm going to remember this to the day I die because it was such an insane statement. But he turns to me and he says, I know you're lying to me. I know you're lying to me because of all the text messages and emails and pictures you've sent her. And I'm like, what? Because I literally have. I've never even texted her. I've met her like a bunch of times at the ferret club, and you know, after we screwed, I just cut her out of my life.
So there's another guy.
Yeah. So,
and the guy who fucked his wife, is the one who has to tell him.
So he's like, "No, I know it's you. I know it's you." And I was like, "Well, send me a picture." So,
oh, God, you wanted to see the pictures?
Yeah, no, I wanted him to show me the pictures, and then I was like, "Okay, I'm going to do a FaceTime call with you right now." So we did the FaceTime thing. And I was like, "Look, you can see it's not me." And he was like, "Oh my God, it's actually not you." So it turns out that there's this completely other guy that's been screwing his wife behind his back, and I'm the one copping the blame for it.
As you should.
It's the kind of thing you see happening in a sitcom. You don't expect it to happen in real life.
Wow.
So did you guys like become best buddies after this? And
well,
to shut this other man down? And
I'm not sure what the protocol is in this situation, if I'm honest.
I mean, if I were you, I'd just get out of the fucking situation altogether.
Well,
that's me.
That's pretty much what I've done. I've ceased all communication with both of them, and I'm like, yeah, screw this noise. This is not for me. But
yeah, that's a pretty fucked up situation right there.
So he thought his wife, I might have cheated on him one time, and that was cool and all, or not cool and all, but bad enough. And then you have to be the guy that breaks it to him.
Dear God! Wow.
Oh, those ferrets get you in so much
bizarre thing that's ever happened to me, and I felt like it was worth bringing up on the show.
It was definitely worth it.
That was some gold. I mean, you just fucking wrecking homes all over the place based on text messages that you didn't send.
Couldn't he just reference the number against?
If he texted you and got in touch with you, he must have known that the numbers were different.
Actually, it was email and Facebook messages.
Oh, but your name is Richard.
Yes, and this other guy was called Anton.
Well, that's okay,
those two names are so similar.
Yeah,
right, but he didn't know my name was Richard. All he had was my number, which she gave him for reasons. Again, obviously, she really
to throw him off the trail of Anton.
Yeah, obviously, she really likes this Anton dude and wanted me to get my ass kicked and not him.
Anton's giving her a better beef injection than you did.
Anton's such a British name too. Yeah,
I need to get some tips from him on how to please the women.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
I mean, it sucks because in a case like this, you went through all this bullshit and the sex was just like a little above average.
Yeah, it wasn't fantastic.
At least if it was like crazy good, you could be like, well, at least I got some fucking good sex out of it.
It was a little bit above average for Richard, but apparently not good enough for her because the first thing she says to
Anton.
you, well, the first thing she says to you is, "Oh, I got to go back to my husband."
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it's just a whole
So I'm
situation.
guessing she didn't have a similar experience.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not
Poor
to bring you
Richard.
down a notch or anything. I'm just
No, it's fine.
everybody's
you know.
different, you know. Everybody's.
I accept it. But yeah.
Hey, let's go have dinner. Nah, my husband wouldn't like that very much.
I haven't even considered that until now. Thanks for that, Steve.
Yeah, well, hey, I just wanted to, bring you down to earth. I didn't want you to think that just because it was above average for you, it was above average for her.
Yeah, thanks for that amazing blow to my
Steve,
self-esteem.
you're awesome.
You got to think about
You're
the
the
women.
best.
You got to think about her a little. How'd she feel?
I don't frankly care at this point. Steve.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he gives a fucking sweet shit. He's just
hope
glad
it
to be
was
out of the situation.
Satisfying, and I gave her an STI. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Okay, so you met her at the Ferret Club, correct?
Yeah, she's an associate of a friend of mine.
Is she still hanging out at the Ferret Club?
Yeah, I've been avoiding the place.
Well, you can't let her ruin your ferret camaraderie.
I can and I will. I'm not getting involved with her ever. She's mental, all right? Proper.
Obviously.
Who needs Dracula?
Jesus Christ, what do you need? Somebody to draw you a diagram? She's obviously fucked up.
Well, I wish her and Anton.
Here's the flow chart. Had sex with a guy. Told him I got to get home to my husband. Crazy.
Had sex with another guy and blamed it on the first guy.
Like, I mean, she should have like at least made you aware of it.
Well, yeah. Hey, by the way, I'm married, but I like you, and
yeah, let's
fuck.
Hey, and if you're okay with it after that point, still all good in my book. Like, you're not the one fucking making the mistake.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about it.
I agree.
Too often people get pissed off at the other person rather than the person they're with.
Well, yeah, and that's a normal reaction, though.
It's an idiotic reaction.
It is, but it's still normal.
It's easier to get mad at the other person.
Yeah, but the blame should be directed in the proper place.
If you're not thinking clearly in that situation.
Well, people should take a moment.
So from now on, Richard, the first thing you need to ask the next woman is, "Are you married by chance?"
Before we take this further, gotta ask, are you married?
And I'm cool with it. Just let me know.
Get that out of the way.
And if so, are you also having an affair with someone else that you will blame me for?
Yeah. Or that your husband will blame me for.
Do you know anybody named Anton?
I hear he gets around.
Well,
fucking Anton's just slinging dick all over fucking England.
Anton's getting all the glory, and Richard's over here getting all the fucking blame. That's not right.
That's the way it happens. Good story.
I'm glad you shared that shit, man. that brightened up my day.
Yeah, like I said, I felt that it had to be shared on this show. This show was built for that kind of story.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
So, Dracula.
So, Dracula.
Or lack thereof.
Or, yes, the lack thereof, vampires, whatever the fuck this show is going to be about. So, where do we start, Richard?
Well, we start with the Legend of Dracula, obviously. It was the character in Bram Stoker's 1897 novel. And, a lot of people think or thought that it was based upon a Romanian priest called Vlad Tepes, or Vlad the Impaler, or Vlad Dracul.
Vlad Dracul.
Who was a bit of a bastard. But it turns out that it's all bullshit.
But it was actually Vlad the plumber.
He impaled people with his high prices.
Vlad god damn it. Didn't fucking spit it out in time.
Yeah.
Fuck. But anyway.
Yeah. So Well, like a good producer, I looked pretty deeply into the whole Vlad the Impaler thing, and then I discovered that it was complete bullshit. Bram Stoker never even heard of Vlad the Impaler, and this connection is purely made in some idiot's lives who was reading too much into the whole thing.
Fucking
Tried to make the
bastards.
connection.
Yeah, trying to make.
Was he more like Vlad the Landscaper?
No, Vlad Tepes was a complete cunt. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
yeah, that is true.
That is very true that he was an actual bloodthirsty cunt, but his connection to Dracula is nil.
He impaled people, so he was, not a good man.
Yeah, he was a bastard.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Romanian total cock. But, I couldn't really do the entire show based on that because it was a total lie.
And we, are bastions of the truth.
We hold integrity above everything else, ladies and gentlemen.
Do we?
You matter too much to us for us to lie to you. So I threw together 10 of the vampire myths, and I thought, yeah, that's a good one.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Good enough.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll have a cigar and a brandy and congratulate myself.
Myth number 1.
Okay, so looking at the plethora of wimpy, tween-friendly vampire books and movies that have given us in the last few years, it's easy to forget that vampires began life as something a lot different and a lot scarier. Centuries ago, our ancestors would quiver with dread at the mere mention of the word, which isn't surprising when you consider just how downright unsettling and macabre the mythology of vampires can be. Consider the following 10 vampires taken from the traditions of 10 different countries, which even by the standards of our ancestors managed to stand out as some of the creepiest creature mythology has to offer.
Did you actually write that?
Yeah, I think he did.
Silence.
No, I muted myself. What? Sorry?
Did you actually write that?
No, I ripped it off.
Does he write anything?
No, I'd like to at least cite your source.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
YouTube could shut us down for that shit.
Yeah. Carry on, Richard.
He's looking up the source.
I threw him off. He's fucking completely thrown off right now.
Not thrown off. Just give me a sec here.
Do 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 do.
I've literally lost the source.
Dear God.
Here's the thing. He's got his dungeon in the basement, and there's this guy down there turning this wheel for his internet. So that he has power.
That's right.
It's torture.
I agree. That's the way they do it over there.
Well, yeah, everything over there is based on dungeons and
everything runs off slavery, right?
Well, yeah,
Pretty much.
In your medieval land.
If you've got slaves,
No, they're serfs, aren't they? Isn't that what they were back in the day?
Yeah, they didn't call them slaves. That would be racist or something.
No, not necessarily.
Well, it might be by today's standards.
Right, I agree. But yeah. So anyway, continue.
Anyway, so number 10, the Calicazaro.
The Calicazaro.
Yeah, the Calicazaro.
Okay.
Spends most of the year in the netherworld and only emerges on the 12 nights between Christmas and the Epiphany.
Oh, come on.
What the fuck is related to? It's related to Christmas?
It only emerges on the 12 nights between Christmas and Epiphany.
What? I had an epiphany once.
The 12th day of Christmas, January 5th.
Yeah, and then you fucking let somebody know, and they were like, "No,
Yeah.
no, Steve, that was just a mediocre thought."
Yeah.
Anywho,
Epiphany.
Epiphany. And it's probably because it knows that those are the nights we're most likely to be too drunk on eggnog to run away.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a fiendish vampire. cunning. Though just the sight
Lazy,
of,
it sounds like. He waits for everybody to get drunk. Well, maybe that's just the way
he's an
takes in
opportunist,
his
Steve.
alcohol. Yeah.
He's the Bill Cosby of vampires.
Oh, too soon.
No, it isn't.
Who says?
It's never too soon.
Is it not?
No.
All right. Fair enough. Moving on. And probably because, drunk on eggnog. Though just the sight of its black, twisted face, red eyes, and fang-filled mouth are enough to sap the holiday spirit out of any party it crashes, the Calicazaro isn't content with merely ruining everyone's fun and will tear apart anyone it encounters with its long claws before devouring them. According to Greek law, any child born between Christmas and the Epiphany will eventually become a Calicazaro. Pretty scary.
Whew.
But
my kid was born in November. I'm good.
Yeah. He's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But fear not, parents. There is a cure. All you have to do is
put a stake through the heart of that fucking kid. Everything will be all right.
What do you got to do, Richard? What do you got to do to cure your child from being a
All you have to do is hold your doomed newborn infant's feet over a fire until,
oh, Jesus.
Well, hey.
until its toenails are singed.
Is that where the saying comes from? Hold your feet to the fire?
Yeah.
I bet you.
Maybe.
Okay, toenails singed. Yeah.
Right.
Calico vampires. I'm with you.
Okay. So, thus breaking the curse. But what would the holidays be without a family reunion? Touchingly, the Calicazaros remembers its family from back when it was human, and it's known to eagerly seek out its former siblings wherever it goes, only to devour them when it finds.
Well, yeah.
Like a normal family.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like pretty much every Christmas family holiday I remember.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So
I like this Calicazaro dude.
Yeah, he just physically does what everybody does to each other emotionally over the holidays. Right. Gotcha.
He just cuts to the chase.
Right.
Fuck that yelling and screaming shit.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Calicazaro.
So that's the Calicazaro. Pretty scary, huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm not really scared.
Okay, so what about number 9, the most disgusting entry on this list?
Huh?
The Penengalen.
Ooh.
A creature that looks like a woman by day, but detaches.
That is scary.
Does he? Wait a minute. Does he have a magic act in Las Vegas?
Penn and Teller.
Oh.
Yeah, very clever. Woo, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. But it looks like a woman by day, but detaches its head from the rest of its body at night to go off flying in search of victims, with its spinal column and all of its internal organs dangling from its neck.
How does that even make sense?
This is an actual Malaysian legend, not something people made up. The organs glow in the dark for that cool retro look, and can be used like tentacles to remove any obstacles the Penengalen comes across. It can also grow its hair at will for the same purpose. That is creepy.
Yeah, well, how does it see? It took its head off.
It's a head.
It's a head. It's got eyes in it, Steve.
Oh, the head is what flies.
Right.
Yeah, the head with all its organs dangling underneath it.
So the body just, like,
dude, it's a big fucking moving light bright.
You
know? The body just lies around until it reattaches. But what is confusing about this, Steve?
What I really want to know, it would be scarier or creepier if the body did something while the head was doing something else, instead of just lounging on the couch until the head gets back. It's like, it's not even scary. I'm just saying.
You're telling me that if you saw a glowing head with all the organs dragging below it, you wouldn't be a little bit scared?
I might get a little, nervous. Anxious.
Steve,
Huh,
you got
that's
anything
weird.
anything I can sell on eBay?
Oh, you're not using that body anymore. Wonder what that would
Fetch
go.
a few quid.
Jesus.
So when it spots a house, the penna ganglion will zero in on it and try its hand at a little breaking and entering. If successful,
It doesn't have any hands.
doesn't
How's
need
it gonna
hands.
break
It
in?
uses its tentacle.
Ugh.
If successful, it will devour any newborn babies within. This thing is a floating head with dangling organs, and it eats babies. How are you not scared?
Well, now I'm scared. I mean, I've got a lot of babies in the house.
Shut up, Steve. If the house can't be broken into, the pen ganglion will instead stretch out its incredibly long tongue under the house and make it slither through the cracks between the floorboards to gain access to the sleeping occupants. Once the tongue finds its way to your bedroom, it will stick itself into you, and the pen ganglion will use it as a straw to drain you for blood to death from a distance. Why is that funny?
Because it doesn't make any sense at all.
It's a Malaysian vampire.
It's not a vampire. Vampires don't detach their heads and fly through the air and stick their tongues in you.
How the hell do you know that?
Well, how many other vampires on the list do that?
How many vampires have you seen, Steve?
Oh, you're right. I haven't seen very many.
That's right.
I've seen 3, and one of them detached its head.
Oh, well.
That's also bullshit.
Anyway.
Right. So that's number 9.
That's number 9.
You had to make it a long list, didn't you?
Oh, well, they're short entries.
Oh, okay.
So, but at the end of every night, the pen ganglion has to pickle its entrails by soaking them in vinegar so they'll shrink and fit back inside
What?
the body.
Is that really part of the legend, or you just make that shit up?
That's part of the legend.
It has to pickle its.
It pickles its organs. So here we are. So we can go down to number 8.
A pickle. I just want to ride my broken entrails.
Malaysians are crazy, man.
Are they? Or are they just
story to our Malaysian listeners?
That's why that flight went down.
That's probably it. That's the pen gallon or the pen ganglion or whatever you called it.
That's what happened.
Pen ganglion.
If the pen ganglion was in charge of that flight, it would probably still be in the air.
Maybe.
Yeah, it'd be flying under its detached head.
That's right.
All right. So the upyear may look like an ordinary Russian person. It may even have the ability to walk in broad daylight like a Russian person. But a Russian person, it isn't. Behind its innocuous facade.
That's right, because Russian people are far more scary.
That's true. It hides a vicious vampire that will gladly pass up all the vodka in the world if it meant tasting a single drop of your blood. In fact, its love of blood is so great that after tearing into you with its metal teeth, it might just eat your heart for kicks. The upyear also loves children.
Upyears.
Preferring the taste of their blood and always making a point of feeding on them first before draining their parents.
So wait, all these vampires so far prefer babies and children.
Yeah.
Huh. Pedophiles. That's what they are.
No, they just prefer virgin blood, and most children are virgins.
All right.
Most predators do prey on the weak, Steve.
Yeah.
No, it's the virgin blood thing. I'm telling
you.
Vampires love virgin blood.
If you say so.
I do say so.
Okay. You're the expert. You're the expert this week.
Yeah. Vampire hunter Richard Alleno.
I doubt that.
Not Anton. Just want to make that clear. My name is not Anton. It also doesn't seem to mind the taste of frozen dirt because it's said to use its metal teeth to chew its way out of its grave during the winter when its hands have frozen solid due to poor coffin insulation.
Better make sure I get that coffin insulated before
Why
I
don't
go.
they just wait till summer? I mean, they're the undead and shit. It's not like they're going anywhere.
Well, they don't have any time management skills.
Apparently not.
They're
It's a
shitty
little
at that,
chilly in
Steve.
here. Let's get out.
They get hungry.
All right.
They need a snack, Steve.
Crawling out of my grave in the wintertime.
Sure.
So that was number 8. Let's go down to number 7, the Asasa Bonsam.
Okay.
Chances are you're familiar with the old urban legend of the Hook Man. Well,
No.
as it... What?
The Hook Man.
You know, young
The guy
couple
with the
making-
fucking hook.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Where he leaves it on the... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All that was left was a bloody hook. That legend?
That's the one.
Okay.
There you go. Glad you're on board.
As it turns out, the Ashanti people tell the similar but much creepier tale of the Asasa Bonsam, a strange vampire with curved iron hooks instead of feet that lives deep within the African forests. It hunts by dangling from the branches of trees and thrusting said hooks into you when you pass underneath it. Once it's hoisted you up into the tree, it devours you alive with its iron teeth, then presumably spends the rest of the night cleaning your stubborn bloodstains off its hooks so they won't rust.
Oh, boy.
Unlike most vampires, it feeds on both humans and animals. One oddly specific detail about the Asasa
Unlike
Bonsam-
most vampires, it doesn't adhere to the legend at all.
It's very OCD as well. It's got to be clean.
Continue.
that when its prey it's human, it will make a point of biting off the thumb first before moving on to the rest of the body. Don't
Why?
know why that is. Yeah, it doesn't say.
It has a
I
thing
guess it-
against the fawns.
I guess it just doesn't like thumbs.
Or maybe thumbs are the tastiest part of your body.
Maybe.
Could be.
Never eaten a thumb, so I don't know.
Hmm.
So
But
that's-
other parts you've been down with?
Like a turkey, you go straight for the leg.
right,
If you say so,
Um,
Steve.
that
Oh,
makes
yeah.
sense.
Okay.
Dark meat.
Okay, so number 6 is the Varacolokai, and it's probably the most powerful of all vampires.
Can it remove
So-
its head?
Why
No.
are you on it? Why is that the thing that matters to you the most?
I mean, that's pretty damn powerful. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
It's pretty damn powerful, but you know, like, why is that one sticking with you? We had that
I
guy
don't
with the
know.
hooks.
But the hooks are, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just hooks.
Steve's not impressed.
Dude can pickle his own entrails and shit and still live.
That's your idea of cool, is it? That's why you're on board with the Panaganglum.
No, I think it's all bullshit, but I think that's very powerful.
Have you ever
I
been
wanna
to
see what-
Malaysia?
No, sir.
So how do you know it's bullshit?
You're right. No, you've got me there.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, Steve, I have defeated you with my cool, logical brain. So, most powerful of all vampires, yada yada. So it may come as a surprise that with very little known about it, aside from the fact that it is a tongue twister of a name, it is said to be a dermatologist's worst nightmare, sporting pale, dry skin that no amount of body lotion can cure, but to otherwise have the appearance of a human being. Strangely, for so feared a creature, the Varacolokai only has one known power. It has the
You just said he was
ability.
The ability to not be moisturized.
He's
It
only got
has-
one power.
It has, yeah, but it's pretty fucking impressive
All
power.
right, let's see what it is.
It has the ability to swallow the sun and the moon.
Oh, I guess you're right. That is pretty powerful. Again, Richard, you win.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Which roughly translates to it can cause eclipses, which has got to be the mother of all party tricks. Yeah.
How is it a
If so-
vampire?
If someone did that at a party, I would be damn impressed, yes.
Yes.
To do so, however, it needs to fall asleep because apparently causing astronomical events that the world would still be
It
terrifying.
only has its power when it sleepwalks.
Yeah. That's true. So that's the Varacolochi.
Yeah, but it doesn't do it. How is that a vampire?
It eats the sun and moon. It can be whatever it wants
Vampires don't eat suns and moons. They drink blood.
to be. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware that you were a member of the vampire
Yeah. No. Yeah.
of the Vampire Fraternity Brotherhood Association.
Boo.
Yeah, that wasn't even close to being good.
Fucking boo. Carry on.
I think it was quite good, actually.
Okay.
Keep thinking.
I'm going to. So, number 5 is the Uplaw. So, remember the Russian Upyear we discussed earlier? Well, it has a Polish cousin called the Upyear.
The dumb cousin.
Hey, I'm part Polish.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
I'm not. But...
I'm sorry for your loss.
So thank you for that irrelevant interruption. That's renowned for being even more cuckoo for blood. In fact, his bloodthirst is so immense.
For Cocoa Puffs.
That too.
Yeah.
It's so immense and insatiable that aside from drinking enormous quantities of it, the Upia enjoys bathing in it and sleeping in it. Its body is also filled with so much of it that staking it will cause it to explode in a gigantic burst of blood. Worthy only.
Impressive.
It takes particular pleasure in feeding on the friends and family it had back during its good old human days. So if one of your friends or relatives has recently turned you into Upia, you should know you're probably going on its grocery list. When it eventually finds you, it will immobilize you in a powerful embrace and then stick its barbed tongue into your neck and drink you dry.
That's vampire-ish. I can see where that one could be considered a vampire, sure.
Oh, that one passes your fucking vampire.
It didn't have anything to do. The other one didn't have anything to do with vampirism. Drinking blood is what makes a vampire a vampire.
It eats the fucking sun and moon.
It's not a vampire.
It's pretty impressive.
I didn't say it was unimpressive. I just said it's not a vampire. It shouldn't be on our list. We should only have...
And he's a connoisseur, Richard.
He's a connoisseur.
Yes.
He likes his vampires to be traditional. He's a purist.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, so number 4, the Noon Tota. So warning, if you're a hypochondriac type, you might want to avoid this entry. The Noon Tota is a walking biological weapon of mass destruction that does only one thing and one thing only. It brings death wherever it goes.
Ooh.
It carries any number of horrific plagues and lethal diseases, which it spreads around like candy in whatever town it happens to be passing through, contaminating anyone and anything around it. Unsurprisingly, it's said to have only been seen at times of widespread epidemics. The Noon Tota's body is covered in open sores and wounds that are constantly oozing with pus, and which probably play a part in spreading its deadly germs.
You think?
I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Its awesome German name literally translates to Killer of Nine, a reference to the belief that a buried corpse takes 9 days to transform it into a Noon Tota.
Again, not a vampire.
It falls on its victims in hospital beds and saps them of their strength before digging its fangs into their neck or back and sucking them dry of blood.
Okay, vampire.
Steve, you're being a real flip-flopper.
Well, no, until then, until we heard that it sucked blood, it didn't fit into vampire stereotype.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm stereotyping vampires.
Wow, that's just racist.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So number 3, we're heading down.
You're going to get a bunch of emails from goth chicks.
You know nothing about vampires.
They're going to be really pissed when they find out that Vlad Tepes thing is a load of bollocks.
If anybody would like to see any of these creatures, you can see them in some hentai movies. in which they'll be sticking their tentacles into Japanese girls. Ah! Oh! Ah!
This is what they'll do. Yes.
I've been looking for another excuse to use that, haven't you?
Yeah, it was, just, it was a stretch.
It worked,
but...
though. It did. No, it worked.
All right.
I liked it.
So number three, heading down to Australia. And it's a weird one. Aboriginal legends from down under describe the Yaramaya Woo as a...
Jeez.
Yaramau.
It's just a noise.
Yaramaya Woo.
Mm.
1.25 meter humanoid with red skin and a massive head who spends its time perched in a tree.
Spends its time trying to kill the people that are getting killed by the actual creatures that live in Australia.
I was going to say, vampires would actually be a step down from the natural fauna in Australia.
Yeah, no shit.
The townspeople are relieved when it's just this thing.
Oh, just a
What, it's not a spider? All right, cool, we're okay.
Just a vampire. Calm down, lads. So if you happen to pass down under that tree, it jumps down onto you, sticking to your body with its small suckers that cover its fingers and toes, so no matter how hard you struggle, it can't be shaken off. So far, so creepy. But what really ensures the Yaramayahu a place on this list is its method of feeding. Because it has no fangs of any kind, it sucks your blood through the suckers on its hands and feet until you're too weak to escape or even move. Then leaves you on the ground like a discarded half-empty can of juice while it wanders off, presumably to frolic with the koalas and kangaroos.
Well, yeah.
That's what you do.
When it returns, it gets down to business, swallowing you whole with its immense mouth, then regurgitating you after some time, still alive and in one piece.
Jeez, that insult to injury there. Holy Lord.
The process is repeated again and again, with you growing smaller and a little redder each time. Finally, you guessed it, you turn into a Yaramayahu yourself.
Yeah.
That is a pretty disgusting way of turning someone into a vampire.
How many licks does it get to the center? To get to the center?
Oh, that's disgusting. But yes, funny. So number two, the Nelapasi.
1, a 2, a 3.
Leave it to the chimps to come up with something this unsettling. The Nelapsi is a walking cadaver that can't be bothered to wear clothes, and so it goes around hunting its prey naked. That, combined with its glowing red eyes, long filthy black hair, needle-thin teeth, is enough to make us want to keep the lights on at night. But unfortunately, it's only the tip of the iceberg. In fact, the Nelapsi is easily one of the most powerful and downright evil of all vampires. It can destroy entire villages at once. And like that guy who keeps getting banned from the all-you-can-eat buffets, won't stop feeding until daybreak, no matter how much it's already had in one night. It's not a picky eater, feeding on livestock as well as humans, and will either kill you by ripping you apart with its teeth or by crushing you in its trademark bear hug.
It's actually trademarked?
Probably.
Gene Simmons is working on it.
Good one. An embrace so powerful it shatters your bones. If it gets a chance, though, it will try and make you last as long as it can before finishing one off, and is known to torture its victims for weeks before they die.
Hell of a guy.
Great dude. I'm
That's
glad he's on the list.
But can he eat the sun and the moon?
No, he can't eat the sun and the moon.
Then fuck him.
That's right.
So here we go. The final vampire from India. The Indian Brahmaparushma may not be as powerful as the Nelapsi, but incredibly, it is even creepier. Like all the best serial killers, it enjoys taking trophies of its victims. In this case, their intestines. And it's so proud of its kills that it wears said trophies wrapped around its head like a turban for the whole world to see. That's
He's a shy boy, Will.
it's a a pretty gutsy wardrobe choice, if you ask me.
I guess so.
Get it? Because yeah,
I got
wasted
it.
on you.
No,
This
I
is
got
one vampire you definitely want to fall prey to. When it catches you, it first drains your blood into a skull that it carries around wherever it's going, then slowly drinks from it like a glass of 30-year-old skull.
Ah, Bob, I knew him well.
it.
After that, it's skull cracking time. The Brahma Parushma removes your brain, its favorite delicacy, and feasts on it. Due to its immense hunger, the Brahma Parushma needs to consume several humans before it can feel truly sated. So by the time it's done feeding, its lair is littered with bodies. What does it do then? What it actually does is wrap its entire body in its victim's intestines, then starts to perform a ritual dance around their butchered corpses. Oh, and one last thing.
And it says, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
And it has no known weaknesses, and there's nothing you can do to protect yourself from it.
Wasn't she a great big fat person?
Most of these, I don't know.
And that, ladies and gentlemen,
are no vampires whatsoever.
I was, stunned that you couldn't come up with enough on just your normal everyday vampire, but whatever. You had to go off the wall.
Vampires have been done to death.
Whatever,
They're a staple, though.
They are. There's something to be said about that.
I guess so.
I don't know what to say.
You want to say, but yeah, I hear you. So that was great, Richard.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on all of them.
Oh, you suck. I'm feeling your enthusiasm.
Well, floating heads.
You two didn't give a shit about this show then.
Suns and eating.
It wasn't that I didn't give a shit about the show at all. I think the timing of the topic is a little off.
No, I thought it was all right. There was a Christmas one in there.
Yeah, okay. There was
it's almost Christmas.
Kind of Italian,
sure. Epiphanies and stuff.
Yeah.
So Krampus next week.
Sounds good.
And the Legend of Santa Claus after that.
Saint Nick.
Yeah. That magical bastard. Anyhow. On that note, Steve, do you have any news?
I most certainly
do. Here comes Steve with the news.
I promise to fix that, Steve.
It's royalty free, so we'll be all right.
It is.
Paranormal investigators blocked. Oh, this is from, unlike Richard, I give my sources. Premier.org.uk. Paranormal
While you're doing the news, I'll look for the source.
Yeah, okay. Paranormal investigators blocked from South Yorkshire church graveyard. A group of so-called paranormal investigators have been barred from staging a meeting at a graveyard of a church in South Yorkshire. Did I say that right? I think I said that right. Rotherham-based Paranormal XPX TV had planned to gather in Rawmarsh last weekend, but St. Mary's Church threatened legal action if they went ahead. The parochial church council.
List verse is the source.
Ah, there you go.
Continue, Steve.
Okay. The parochial church council, or the PCC, erected a sign warning against the event going ahead, saying it was against Christian values. It read, "The PCC wishes to clearly state that this is a Christian burial site and the planned event is in direct contradiction to Christian doctrine as understood by the Church of England." You guys have a Church of England? That's pretty cool.
What are you fucking kidding me?
Well, I've heard of it, but I thought that ended in like 1640 or something.
No, of course we've got the Church of England.
So unlike us, where we don't have like a Church of the United States. I mean, it's
No, you've got Scientology, which is a hell of a lot more ludicrous.
I can't disagree.
Hmm.
Paranormal X have no permission to gather in these grounds for the planned purpose, and should the event go ahead, the organizers may be subject to legal proceedings. Wow, that's pretty harsh. Paranormal X PXTV, which was founded in 2015, has visited the church in the past, including during 2 occasions in the summer of 2016. Founder and psychic Mark Smith told Premiere, "How didn't he know that this was going to happen? He's a psychic."
Well, you know, they're mystical, Steve.
Yeah. Okay. I understand the church's perspective, given their beliefs, which are based on doctrine and scripture, but I do think it was a little unfair. The church has got the public right of way. As far as I was concerned, I wasn't doing anything wrong. Or church has got a public right of way, so you're allowed to be there, apparently. It's not like we were going there causing criminal damage or being disrespectful. Premier approached St. Mary's, but the church declined to comment. Bastards. They wouldn't even comment.
Yeah. Neither did the ghosts in the fucking graveyard.
No, none of them did. This is from irishtimes.com. This is a good one. This is about a ghost. Ghost of murdered Saudi journalist haunts the G20 summit.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no story.
Are we talking about Khashoggi?
Sure. I don't know. Richard sent me a story with no content. So,
awesome.
But this guy is a ghost and he haunted them.
As he should. I mean, he was kind of
Khashoggi,
brutally murdered.
Khashoggi, or however you pronounce that.
Right.
But he was there at the G20 summit and he haunted it, apparently.
No.
Thanks, Richard.
Good for him, Steve.
Story with no content. Thank you, sir. From the news.com.au. Teacher reveals creepy details after Aussie ghost sighting in rare audio. Ooh, another ghost.
Creepy.
Extremely rare audio has emerged.
I'm noticing a trend here, Steve.
Creepiness?
Ghosts.
Oh, ghosts, yeah. Well, the next one's not a ghost story. So.
Oh, we got 4.
Mm-hmm. Well, because he sent me one that didn't have any content.
Ah.
So I kind of, needed a 4th one, apparently.
Gotcha.
Extremely rare audio has emerged online that is believed to be of an interview with the only adult known to have spoken about an infamous 1966 mass UFO sighting in Melbourne. On April 6, 1966, over 300 students and some staff reportedly witnessed a UFO flying silently in the sky before disappearing behind some nearby trees. I remember that. Oh, I don't remember that. I remember the story. I wasn't even born in 1966. I couldn't remember that. But Andrew Greenwood was a teacher at West Hall High School when the object was spotted and is one of the only adults to have spoken about his experience. It has been 52 years since the alleged sightings, but there are very few eyewitness details that have emerged in that time. Though rare audio believed to be an interview between Mr. Greenwood and American physicist Dr. James E. McDonald may shed some light on what really happened. The audio was recently published by the YouTube channel QUFOSR and claims to be a huge piece of evidence for the case. A recording of Mr. McDonald describing the interview had been posted online before, but audio of the actual interview is rare. How is it rare if it's on the internet?
I don't fucking know.
News.com cannot verify the claims that it is in fact Mr. McDonald, and Mr. Greenwood speaking on the tape still brings an interesting perspective on the baffling case. At the beginning of the interview, Mr. Greenwood told Mr. McDonald that he initially brushed off the girl that ran into his classroom claiming there was a UFO outside. However, at recess time, he thought he might as well go have a look, and purely out of curiosity. It was then that he saw about 300 students and a few teachers all gathered on the oval. I'm guessing there's an oval in the middle of the playground. I observed the object. Yeah. I observed the object everyone was looking at. It was gray against a blue-gray sky, so I didn't see it immediately, Mr. Greenwood said. The only thing I've got to compare it against is some smaller-sized Cessna aircraft, and it was approximately two-thirds the length of one of those. He said it was hard to make out the exact shape, but the best he could describe it was a big plate with a bulge in the middle. He said bulge. According to Mr. Greenwood, the object moved in a very strange way and was a lot faster than any other aircraft he had ever seen. What the hell is that?
What?
I don't know. It sounds like Richard snoring over there.
He could be.
Did you fall asleep, Richard?
No, I'm here.
Yeah. There it is again.
Yeah, it's some feedback. Some type of feedback.
It did hover at times. It seemed to be able to accelerate and disappear out of sight, and then someone would see it over in another part of the sky, he said. It moved a considerable distance away very rapidly, and I think it's snoring, and then moved back again. At the one point, the object moved towards the crowd, but it moved in such a way that it was impossible to know it was moving until it was right in front of you. It came towards us. What?
Huh?
He's yelling at one of his ferrets quietly. It came towards us, not that we could see it actually coming towards us, but we could see it was closer than it was before. It would go up and down, could move slowly, but generally seemed to hover or move really fast, he said.
Really fast.
Pretty cool interview. There's a lot more, but I'm not going to read it. So
Sure.
look that up.
Yeah.
QUFO SR on YouTube, and you can see it.
For yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Finally, an American news source.
Oh.
Seattle Times. Ooh,
Seattle.
Seattle. Well, almost Canadian, I think, but Bigfoot.
Pretty close.
Yeah, this is pretty close to Canada. Bigfoot hunters aren't crazy, just curious.
Bullshit.
Says Wild Things podcaster Laura Krantz. When former NPR editor and producer Laura Krantz read a 2006 Washington Post article about, is that the one that Matt Knapp was in? I wonder. It was about anthropologist Grover Krantz. She wondered if he might have been a distant relative, being that her name is Krantz and all. It turned out he was. And that wasn't all. Krantz also discovered that when Grover Krantz wasn't busy as a preeminent anthropologist, he was hunting the elusive Sasquatch all over the Pacific Northwest.
From now on, it's Sasquatch.
Krantz
Rebranded.
Krantz's journalistic curiosity got the best of her, and she soon found herself interviewing scientists and amateur Bigfoot hunters, because there are no pro Bigfoot hunters. Well, there are a couple. And venturing into the deep of the forest in search of Bigfoot. But most of those don't have time for us. Or at least some insight into the people who can't just quit looking for the ape-like creature. Krantz's investigations didn't turn her into a hardcore Bigfoot believer, but when she did become the host and producer of a new podcast, Wild Things, available on Stitcher and iTunes, by the way. On the podcast, Krantz examines the evidence, histories, scientists, and believers that have all made her wonder if Bigfoot might be real after all. Yeah. But we're not all crazy.
Yes, we are. Don't listen to that. We are all crazy.
I think she
goes on
off the mark.
She goes on to say, my feeling is to embrace Bigfoot and what Bigfoot stands for, even if you don't believe. I think there's some,
is that what he stands for?
I think there's something worthwhile in having a little Bigfoot in your life.
You see, he's not the hero we need or the hero we want.
No, Jesus.
That, fellas, is the news, such as it is.
Goodbye.
What?
I don't know.
It just gets worse and worse every week. Every week, Steve.
Like one of them nightmares that you just can't wake up from.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I vowed to make it worse.
That's obvious.
I don't think you can, but whatever.
Yeah. That was hold my beer, Steve.
Jesus. So next week is Krampus?
Krampus, yes, because you threw a hissy fit last week.
I'm not throwing a hissy fit. Just the way I think things should go.
It's a joke, Chris. Calm down.
Okay. He's going to do the history of Krampus, except we're only going to talk about top 10
other demon-like creatures that have nothing to do with Christmas.
Demon-like creatures that may or may not be Krampus.
I made a mistake with the Dracula thing, and I tried to salvage it. Okay, I apologize.
Apology declined. You thought I was going to say accepted, didn't you? Ha.
Maybe he did.
Ha.
Anywho, on that note, this has been the Fortean Slip, episode 53, the not so legend of Dracula. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment, subscribe. Check out Matt Knapp at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads. Check out Bigfootin' with Keith and Colin on Facebook. That's Richard's comic strip.
We're doing
Check
12
out
Days of Christmas.
there you go. Check out good old Phil Poling at Parabreakdown, youtube.com/Parabreakdown. And as always, throw a little love to our good friend Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn. We will see you guys next week, and hopefully we'll be on point.
No.
Yeah, probably not.
Down it.
See ya!